Hello there viewers, my name's Harry and I'm going to be talking today about my first few hours with the free-to-play version of DC Universe Online, up to reaching about level 5 to help you see if this MMO is worth your time. So without further ado, let's look at DC Universe Online. First off, the character creation. After picking EU or US servers, you can create a hero or a villain, then you can pick what powers they have. So you can pick from super speed, flight, or acrobatics. I chose flight. Then you can pick a weapon from crossbows to guns and get elemental power, and this allows for a lot of combinations. Add that along with the character creation, your character is going to be pretty unique, unless you're going to pick a character based on the DC heroes. So I suppose if you really want to be Batman, you can be, but please be a bit more original. You can also pick who your kind of teacher is from a variety of other DC characters. After the character creation, you can play through a tutorial instance, and not knowing what the combat in DCU was going to be like, I was expecting it to be hotkey based. Oh boy was I wrong. While there are abilities mapped to hotkeys, which I couldn't work out how to change the placement of the abilities, which is pretty annoying to be honest, but moving on. The majority of combat is hack and slash based, similar to games like God of War, using mouse clicks and a variety of combos for different moves, and it becomes quickly apparent how they could release this game on the PS3 as well as the PC. As far as the combat goes though, it's very smooth and refreshing for an MMO and feels a lot more satisfying than repeatedly bashing hotkey rotations and might actually require some skill and thinking. This does mean, however, you can't right click on items and characters to interact with, and you have to do them using slash commands, which once learned are easy to remember, although it's unfortunate that the tutorial doesn't cover this and you have to go find an FAQ on the internet if you want to know everything. But on the plus side, there is a dance command. The way they've incorporated looting into the game is also very cool and reminds me a lot of Crackdown, in the way that when you kill an NPC they burst into an explosion of pretty coloured orbs for you to collect. I have to say though, I feel very overpowered against enemies at the moment, but as most of the enemies that have been going up against are everyday policemen, I guess as a superhero you would kind of dwarf them power-wise, and I'm hoping when versus other supers you'll probably be more evenly matched. There is something to be said for just bashing the living hell out of NPCs with your powers. That is very, very satisfying. As far as questing goes, there are pretty much your standard MMO affair. Fetch this, kill this. There are some variations though, like free this guy and protect him for so long, which leads me to think that there maybe might be some very quests later on in the game. The nice thing about the questing system is that you don't have to return to the quest cover when it's completed. You just open up your journal, hit that complete button, and you're away with your experience and item reward onto the next quest. This goes hand in hand with the DC Universe ideal that you quickly reach the end level and that's where the main game is, so this reflects that. So overall I'm pretty happy with DCU. The combat's a nice change and the questing doesn't feel like an endless fetch quest, and the game looks pretty cool. DCU does have its problems though. While fine once you get into the game, sometimes you can load up the game and it will just never get past the server connection. And then when you do, you're 145th to log in. And while I know they're getting an influx of new users, this needs to be sorted out pretty quickly. My only other gripes are on the free-to-play aspect of it. Well, I can get the fact that limitations are there to encourage you to pay for the premium and legendary access, but when you run into these limitations it doesn't tell you because you're only on free-to-play access. It puts them down to an error. An example of this, as you can see on screen, is retrieving items from the mail system. I only found out after talking to a friend of mine who's been playing the game for a while that on free-to-play access you can't take attachments. Fair enough, but then as part of the tutorial, your teacher, in my case the Joker, sends you a mask in the mail and tells you to take it. And when the game puts it down to an error when you can't retrieve that item from the mail, rather than going this is a premium feature and here's how you can get it and how much it's going to cost, it's pretty poor marketing on Sony's front to be honest. But it does lead us onto a segue onto the premium features. Well, I don't mind the limitations of the free-to-play model as I said, because really I've not come into a situation where I'm thinking, I don't have enough item slots, or I want to create 20 million characters, or have loads of money in the bank. Well, that may come later on, so at the moment it's not deterred me yet. As far as it goes though, I'd recommend probably paying the £5 in the store to get the premium, so that you get a bit more inventory slots and a few more character slots. As far as the chat things go, however, I'd probably just recommend that you get all your friends on Skype or a Ventrilo server, to be honest. the limitations on chat don't really seem to make sense to me, to be honest. I suppose it's to stop you making free accounts and just spam out the chat for everyone else, but... And with the premium level, you can always just buy the extra DLC packs, which don't cost too much, to be honest. So, overall, for a free game, it's not really bad at all. If you're itching for an alternative to World of Warcraft, or you're just waiting for Knights of the Old Republic or Guild Wars 2, you can't go much wrong with this, as you can pretty much play this game by yourself quite easily, so you don't even really need any friends. So yeah, I'd recommend sign up for that account for DCU. It's free, see what it's like, you'll probably enjoy it. I've been Harry from Geeky Glasses, and I'll see you next time.